My apologies to Wayne Allyn Root, Libertarian commentator, former VP nominee of the Libertarian Party, author of the new book, The Ultimate Obama Survival Guide. His website, rootforamerica, FORAmerica.com. Wayne, I'm sorry my phone croaked just as we were about to go on the air 20 minutes ago or 15 minutes ago when you were coming on, but you're there now. Do you hear me?
I'm here. Can you hear me okay, Tom?
I hear you just fine.
You know, I wrote something nice about you the other day. Do you know that?
I actually saw it. Yeah, Louise.
We disagree on a lot of issues, maybe on most issues, but you're still a nice guy, and I like you, and I think we've always gotten along, even when we disagreed.
Well, thank you.
That's the way it's supposed to be, by the way. We're not enemies with each other, you know?
I think so. You know, that and I think that people should be able to have civil discourse. Yeah, Louise showed me an article that you'd written where you were basically going after some other liberal journalist or whatever because
it was WGN TV in Chicago. I've been on their show every time I've ever been in Chicago on book tour. Most of them were political books, by the way, and they always let me on, and this time they turned me down and they said it's too partisan. Too partisan.
Yeah.
Isn't partisan the definition of politics? Have you ever had a Republican on WGN? Have you ever had a Democrat on? They're all partisan. So what? You don't turn someone down. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So
well,
I said it.
I can't speak to or for a TV station in Chicago, but Wayne, you wanted to talk about the IRS and this apparent IRS scandal, as it's being referred to as.
Well, here's the area we ought to agree, because if this was Nixon or Romney or Bush doing this, I'd be on your side. No president should ever, or no IRS under any president should ever go after anyone for their political views, or you do not have politics in a democracy.
So were you speaking out in 2004 against the Bush administration using the IRS against progressive churches that were having anti-war sermons?
If they did, it's horrible. I don't know anything about it. I've never heard that happened, but if it did, I would have been on your side.
Okay, all right.
You cannot allow that on either side, ever.
I agree. But let me take it to the next step. I think that the scandal here that's being ignored is that the president has a PAC now, that the Obama for America has morphed into one of these 401c3 501c4s rather. Excuse me. He's got one of these groups. The Koch brothers have one of these groups. Karl Rove has one of these groups, and the IRS code says the law, not the IRS code, but the law that invented the 501c4. The 501c4 is actually that chapter of the law, right? It's identifying that place, that sentence in the law. And what it says is that you must be exclusively a social welfare organization. Now, my wife and I, 30-some years ago, started a community for abused kids in a school up in New Hampshire that's still up there and running. Hunterschool.org is the website. That's a social welfare organization. That's a 501c3, actually. It's a tax-exempt organization. And it exclusively does things to benefit, kids with learning disabilities. I don't understand how running an ad that says vote for the president or against the president, vote for Obamacare or against Obamacare, I don't understand how an organization who does that is allowed to operate as a nonprofit organization and conceal the identity of its donors.
Listen, I can't argue about it, with you. It sounds like I'm on your side, but it's a new issue to me because I'm not an FEC expert or an attorney that's an expert on.
Well, this is IRS, and I think that this is the real scandal: is that the IRS is not enforcing their own law.
No, the real scandal is Tom. I'm just a guy like you. We may be on different sides of issues, but I'm an activist, and I'm someone on the conservative side on most issues, although very moderate on a lot of social issues.
Right.
And I'd be very upset if the IRS came after you and tried to destroy you. And this issue on the national basis right now is not personal to you, Tom, but now it should be, because you know someone who the IRS came after, me.
Okay, tell us about it.
Tens of thousands defending, and the case was thrown out of court. They laughed him out of court, and I won 100% victory. And then 5 days later, new tax audit. And I knew at that moment that this was from the Obama administration. I knew I was being targeted, and now I look vindicated. It's all come home.
Was this just an audit, or were you trying to create a 501c4 organization with the name Tea Party in it?
Let me tell you the story. This was just in January of 2011. I got a strange phone call at my home from a guy who said he was an IRS agent. And when I got the message, I called my accountant and said, the IRS just called me. I'm being audited, me personally. And my accountant said, that's not possible. The IRS doesn't call people. You get a notice in the mail. They never call someone. It's a prank. And next thing I knew, it was the accountant called me back saying it wasn't a prank. He called my office, too. Can you imagine an IRS agent called me at home And when he didn't get me, he called my accountant at his office.
Wow.
And my accountant said, never in his 30 years in business has he ever heard of anything like this. This cannot be good. These guys are targeting you. Something's wrong. And we know you're in the media day and night against Obama. You got to assume these two are connected, but let's see. Let's give them a fair shot and find out. Well, I hung up the phone. Now, you have to admit, Tom, this is bad. The phone rings again, and it's the accountant. And he says, I know, actually, it's the IRS agent. He says, I just spoke with your accountant. He says he has your power of attorney, and I'm not to talk to you ever again, but I needed to talk to you just one time, Mr. Root. And I said, really? Why? He said, I just wanted to tell you I have the exact same politics as you, and it's an honor to be auditing you. I fought to get your audit. And I thought, this is really strange and uncomfortable and weird and stalker-like, and there's something wrong here.
Yeah.
He's playing Columbo, and he's trying to catch me to say something bad. And I said, thank you, and hung up the phone. And before I could hang up, he said, I listened to you on the radio. I go to your website. I'm a huge fan of yours.
Oh, geez.
And I thought, this is bad news. And then they proceeded to, to attack me. Obviously, it all turned out to be untrue that he was a fan of mine because my accountant called me and said, hire the best tax lawyers in America. These guys are out to destroy you. They're trying to disallow your mortgage deduction, Wayne. And I know this sounds crazy because it's legal, but the guy crossed it out and he won't let you have it. And he says you owe $100,000 to the IRS. He crossed everything out and he's trying to destroy you. So I hired the best lawyer. We went to court. They laughed him out of court, threw the whole case out, and I was fine. And 5 days later, new audit. So, Tom, listen.
And let me ask you a question, Wayne.
Yeah.
When you, that must have cost you a fair amount of money to fight the IRS. Did they reimburse you the cost of defending yourself?
No, of course not. And the same thing could happen to you one day with a Republican president. So you got to be on my side on this one.
Oh, if there is, Wayne, I think every American is strongly with you and the president in his outrage yesterday that if the IRS has gone rogue and if they are playing politics with audits or deciding to grant or not grant nonprofit status, that's criminal behavior.
Right, but the question is, why would they do it without the president's approval? That's the question I have for you.
Yeah,
You're listening
I don't know
to the
answer.
Thom Hartmann Program.
Just a second.
Call 866-987-THOM.
I guarantee you, Wayne, if this goes all the way to the White House, that's the end. I mean, that is Nixon. RootForAmerica.com is Wayne's website. Thank you, Wayne.